Welcome back to Mindset Monday. The title for today's show, Seatbelts, Helmets, and Convenience Stores. Enjoy the show.
Enough is enough.
I want the world to be the best place for my children.
You are not alone.
We need renegades to be part of this movement, and they're the ones that are going to change the world.
Welcome back to Renegade Radio, the podcast dedicated to the dissenters of the status quo, bringing you the mindset and strategies to build a healthier, happier, and stronger family, the Renegade way.
It's so important to be a renegade.
Welcome back, gang, to this week's episode of Mindset Monday. This is Dr. Todd Gignac, your host, and today's episode title is Seatbelts, Helmets, and Convenience Stores. And really, guys, I have to ask for your forgiveness here. It's a little bit of a rant, but an important one, and just a different way of looking at things, right? It's Mindset Monday. So what stimulated this? You might be asking yourself, well, what do helmets and seatbelts have to do with convenience stores? Well, as you might be guessing, I'm going to tie that in. So my family and I, as we're heading out of town in the morning yesterday to a festival, which was good fun, outdoors and so on, we stopped at a convenience store to get some fuel for the car. And while we were fueling, I'm just watching people, as you do, coming in and out of this convenience store. And we'd never been there before. It was on a route out of town. And what I noticed after a couple of minutes here is literally everybody coming in and out was either grossly overweight to morbidly obese, somewhere in between, or they were really thin, but you could tell they were extremely unhealthy, maybe heavy smokers and so on. And I don't say this to disparage or judge or put anybody down, just the observation I was noticing, and in a very concerned fashion. We're talking within a few minutes, a couple of dozen people, and I couldn't pick one that even looked remotely healthy out of the bunch. I was just scratching my head, and my wife and I, Caroline and I, afterwards when we were driving to our destination, we started talking about this and how disturbing it was. And we got to thinking, well, how does this actually happen? I mean, do these people, they might be, 30, 50 kilos overweight, and they're walking out of the store with sodas, potato chips. They had one of those heat lamp, things, preserving or keeping warm some food. Every piece of food in there was battered and deep fried. So they had French fries. There was some mystery meat stuff. There was like some hot dog, corn dog like thing. Some deep fried like Chinese spring roll. Just all this fried stuff, and all was the same color. It all was just like this yellow food under these lamps. And this was people's meals. Grab a soda, grab this deep fried mystery meat. I'll grab a pack of chips to go with that. And I'm in Australia, and one of the things that's really popular here, aside from sodas, as it would be in the U.S., but here they have these things called these iced coffee drinks. And basically, they're really big. They're, like 500 mils, or in the States, that'd be about 20 ounces of basically milk flavored with coffee, and the equivalent of about 2 cans worth of sugar, just tons of sugar in these things. And, so people are just walking out hand over fist with this stuff, and very obviously unwell. I would imagine that many of them would be on medications for certain problems, etc. And we got to thinking, how in the world does this happen? I mean, do they not know? Do they not see what we see? Again, not judging, but do they not just go, hey, something I'm doing isn't right here? And we got to thinking, well, they must be just ignorant to the facts, right? And we started thinking, well, why are they ignorant to those facts? I mean, and whose fault is that? Whose responsibility is our health? And, well, I mean, I think you guys would agree that ultimately it's our responsibility, yeah? Nobody's coming to save us. It's not the government's responsibility or anybody else's. It's ours. But who is ultimately responsible for shaping our beliefs and our choices and educating or not educating us on where health comes from and what health is and what to look for and how we should be living? Well, two things for me come to mind. Obviously, number one would be the government, and we'll tie that in now to seatbelts and helmets. The government makes laws to, quote, keep us safe and protect us from ourselves, I guess. And I'm not saying seatbelts and helmets are a bad idea. I think they're a great idea, right? I mean, I think you should wear them as a good idea, self-protection. That's nothing new. But is it the government's job to mandate laws to so-called protect us? And that can get us into a whole political debate and the social cost argument. If someone gets hurt in an accident because they weren't wearing the seatbelt or they weren't wearing a helmet, and they rack up huge medical bills that may then fall into the hands of the taxpayer, and that's not fair to the taxpayer. I get it. But let's go a step further. I would be willing to bet that if we went to the local hospital here, the people that are injured from not wearing seatbelts and helmets, etc., is a tiny, tiny fraction by percentage than the people that are in the hospital due to chronic degenerative diseases like cancers and heart disease and complications of diabetes and obesity. Those far outweigh. But, I don't see the government mandating laws against going to McDonald's and Hungry Jack's and KFC and sitting on the couch all day, and nor would we want them to make those laws. I don't think it's the government's job to mandate laws and to try to nanny us. That's our job. But it would be good, since the government is largely in control of state-operated school systems, to maybe, hey, why don't we implement a system of teaching healthy lifestyle into the schools? And, maybe we could provide healthy, nutritious lunches and take the Coke machines out and things like that. And I know there's started to do that in some places, but it's not even close enough, right? And then, so there's the government issue. And then there's okay, well, who's the cultural authority for health? Well, that would be the medical establishments, right? The medical doctors. And I'm in no way disparaging medical doctors here. There's some wonderful doctors out there. Doctors, nurses, and hospitals save lives every day, especially in the area of crisis and trauma. But I think we would all agree, and even most medical doctors would agree, that they're not really taught to look at lifestyle very much. There's some out there that do. But really they're looking at parameters of where we've lost our health and are measuring for certain signs and symptoms and risk factors for cardiovascular disease, etc. And then the solution, of course, would be prescription medications and so on to manage those things. And then when the medications won't cut it anymore, we go a step further with the procedures, and we're now doing surgeries and so forth. And again, I'm not saying there's not a time and a place for those. I'm not disparaging the doctors. I'm just saying that's kind of our system. But what we've done as individuals, as society, and just bring it to your house, to your own family, if we have now given over that responsibility of our health to government bodies and or medical bodies. And while they're going to try to do their best, at the end of the day, it's not their responsibility. And they have various things guiding them as to their decision-making and policies and procedures and so forth. And they may or may not be in your best interest. So let's go back to the convenience store, right? If we don't start with, if you're listening to this right now, I would say that it is your responsibility if you're going to be healthy, and if you have children, they don't get to make the choices, right? We make the choices for them, right? So we need to become a student. Number one, become a student of health and wellness. How do I need to live, and how do I need to raise my children in a way that maximizes their health potential and reduces, there's no panacea, but it's one of the most evidence-based solutions to be healthy is lifestyle intervention, right? But you need to know what you're looking at in the first place. You need to know that eating this yellow fried food and French fries and washing it down with Coca-Cola is extremely detrimental. I mean, if you did it once in a while on occasion, not the end of the world. But obviously the people that I witnessed coming in and out of this store, which I'm assuming would be a sample of the population in general, this is how they're living, right, day in and day out. So number one, become a student of health and wellness. There's so many resources at the tip of a keypad now. There's really no excuse. You can't leave it to the government or your doctor to figure it out for you, right? That's up to us. And again, if you're a parent, there's even more at stake. And I'm going to go on a limb and say there is no hope for your kids unless you're educating them on a healthy lifestyle. If they're going to go the same route you have, they're going to go the same route that your parents did, and you can see where that route takes us. We have the sickest population of kids in the history of Western civilization, more chronic disease than ever, more, yeah, I'm getting flustered because the stats are abominable, and it's getting worse and worse. So, but the sad thing about that is the answer is right in front of us, gang, and the answer is it's you, and it's your ability to take control of your health, make it a priority, educate yourself, read the books, get online, go to courses and seminars. It's all out there, and it's really not rocket science. And the cool thing is you can live a healthy lifestyle. You know, a lot of people associate that with pain. What do I have to give up to be healthy? The foods I have to eat. I got to exercise. But you can do these things and have fun and feel fantastic. That's the beauty of it. And the upside is you're not going to be sick and relying on, medications for the rest of your life to try to manage your illnesses. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to flush your medications. I'm not telling you to stop seeing your doctors. I would ask your doctors questions. What are my alternatives? What can I be looking at in terms of lifestyle? Can you point me in a direction so that I can help myself and my family so that we can have a better health future? We might be living longer. We talk about lifespan, and that's, longevity is slightly going up. But what we're not talking about is health span. Who cares about lifespan? No one wants to live 80 to 80 or 90 or 100 if the last 2 decades of your life are ridden with illness and pain and dementia and so on, right? So we're talking health span. I want to forgive the language, but, kick ass at 85 and beyond. That's totally possible. You're designed for that. So wear your seatbelts and your helmets. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but the fact that they make a law to fine you because you didn't click. But, yep, I wore my seatbelt and my helmet right to McDonald's, and, I'm slowly killing myself through food, but at least I wore my seatbelt, and the government's looking out for me. Right, gang? That mentality's, it's not going to work. So when you're done buckling up, drive yourself to your local veg market, get some organic produce, get some grass-fed beef, meat, drive yourself to the gym, ride your bicycle, slap your helmet on if it makes sense to you. I think it's a good idea. And live a lifestyle that matters, man. You guys with me? Who's with me? Raise your hand. Say F yeah if you're with me. Your life depends on it. Your children's future depends on it. Okay? We take that stuff for granted. I just watch the kids eating Pringles and Doritos and washing it down with Coke, just going, they just have no idea what that's going to mean 10, 20, 30 years from now. In fact, what it means now, we've got overweight and obese kids and pre-diabetic and diabetic children, and neurodevelopmental disorders are skyrocketing. So guys, please, 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 we got the Renegade Family. Plug in there. We've got resources, we've got interviews from health experts in all different areas, all pointing you the right way. Take ownership, it's your life. No one's coming to save you. This is Dr. Todd and the Renegade Family. Peace out, we'll catch you soon. God bless.
I love you, Daddy.
We're counting on you.
My mom is a renegade.
Thanks for tuning in to Renegade Radio. If you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a rating and review. Also, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TRFTribe. Please email us your questions for FAQ Friday, and we'll do our best to answer them in a future show. Simply email us at faq@therenegadefamily.com. If you got value from this episode and know someone else that would benefit from it as well, please share it with them.
Changing the world is going to start in your house. This is Dr. Todd, and from my family to yours, we wish you all the best. God bless, and we'll catch you soon.
Renegades, man up!